Hello and welcome to another special video with my sister on my channel all about knitting and crochet and my yarn shop here in Wiesbaden, Germany. I'm Kiko.
And I'm Joschko. And I'm glad to be here with full strength and energy level after I had been ill for 3 years and was healed this year's June through a miracle in the end, yeah.
Yeah, and as usual, we start with what we're wearing. And I am wearing a cardigan that I knit from the book Swedish Cardigans. Not quite sure whether there's an English version, but it's a fairly simple cardigan knit in stockinette stitch straight up, and then the stitches for the sleeve are picked up and knit down. And I use the brushed alpaca yarn by Hansa Farm held double to get the gauge that was in the book.
And does you go in? It's both. It's not just the back where you start.
You start at the shoulder. You knit top down. So you start at the shoulder, you knit the back, then you pick up stitches for one front, you pick up stitches for the other front, and underneath the armhole, everything is knit in one piece down.
Okay. And I liked her cardigan very much. And there was a different color for me, but also a different yarn, right?
Yeah, it's the Big and Light by Hansa Farm, which is discontinued, but they are producing a new yarn in that technique where you blow the alpaca fibers into a tiny polyamide Schlauch? Tube, I think.
Yeah.
So it's extremely soft, easy to knit with, and beautiful.
Yeah, and I like your cardigan, but I didn't like the pattern. So I just and I don't like using 4 needles for the sleeves. That's why I started in the back and then added the sleeves. They were the right size, but then when I washed it and laid it down, I made some mistake and now they're too long. And then in the front going straight down, and then afterwards I put in the what's this?
Picked up stitches for the edge.
For the edge, okay. And that's actually with 2 different yarns because I didn't have enough of the original one. So what did I use?
The same yarn that I used, the brushed alpaca, in the same color as the Big and Light.
Okay.
And then held double so that you match the gauge of the other yarn.
Yeah, and if you see closely, you see a little bit of a variety of the colors, but it's very subtle and I love it very much.
Especially since the color itself is not a very solid color. It's already like slightly variegated. Yeah. Okay, and then the other thing I'm wearing is this slipover that's knit from a German video instruction, and it's supposed to be a very simple slipover, and it is simple. I just made a few changes. So you're supposed to start with some ribbing, then you knit in the round in stockinette stitch, and when you separate for the front and back, you go back to doing the rib pattern, and that helps it to pull a bit tighter, so it looks as if you knit decreases for the armhole, but you don't. And then the changes that I made is I knit short rows into the back. I think you can see it here with the colors. So the back is actually longer than the front. And I added my tiny little tag with my name on it. And then the other change that I made is when I knit or sewed the shoulders together, I don't quite remember what I did. I cast the stitches for the back. I cast that off really tightly. And for the front, I used a very stretchy bind off to make sure that this was very loose and it doesn't strangle me. And I knit part of the arm warmers. A friend of mine had started knitting them in the same color that I picked for the slipover, and then she decided she didn't like them, and she asked me if I wanted to have the yarn, and she almost ripped out the arm warmers, and I said, no, I would like to have the whole project if that's possible. So I got a finished arm warmer and one that was started. So I finished the one that she started to the length that I wanted. Then I undid the cast off on the first one and added some length. And now I have like removable sleeves for this sort of pullover.
And I don't have them yet, but I'm planning on doing them. I got one yarn, ball
of yarn.
ball of yarn gifted, and I haven't decided how to do them. But what I do have is this cowl or loop, and this is brioche pattern with two colors. Inside is a dark gray, and outside is this lovely one. That's one of my absolute favorite from MKal. And as always, I did some changes. I made everything in block pattern. Rip pattern.
And I think you knit top down, right? I knit mine bottom up. And
Yes.
you did yours top down.
Yes, also with this little slit to have a bit more space here at the neck. And I actually, because I didn't change the pattern, I made some increases and then it was too big and Kiko helped me make it small again. And mine goes up to, half of my thighs. So it's really like a short dress or
A tunic.
a tunic, that's the word, yeah. And I love it very much. I don't wear it half.
And I forgot to say that again, I used the like 8-ply yarn by MKal, which is like double thickness of the normal 4-ply yarn. And you used the 4-ply yarn, but held double for the tunic. So it's one strand in the cowl with the 2-color brioche, and but double-stranded in the tunic, which makes it look a bit different, but it still fits perfectly together because it's the same yarn, the same color yarn. And it's, I like it.
I wonder how I would do the sleeves. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's what
suggest
we're
that she do 2-color brioche as well for the
Probably.
arm warmers.
Because I only have one ball, so.
Yep. Let's see. Good. So that's what we're wearing. Then on to finished objects. We actually have one project that we've both finished. And for all the other projects, some of them, one of us is finished, and I think we even have several projects where we're both still working on them. But for the finished project, that's the pattern is called Multitalent by Nicolor, and it's one of her maximum freedom patterns where you start in the back, and basically this is your gauge swatch, and then you measure yourself, you do a little calculation, and then you know how far to knit before you cast on stitches for the front, and then it's a fairly simple rounded yoke pullover. And you can decide how wide you make it, how long you make it, whether you have short or long sleeves. And then in the original pattern, you just do a simple ribbing on all the edges, which I didn't want to do. So I picked out a pattern from the book Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, and I found this interesting lace pattern. I thought it was interesting, and I put that in the neckline and at the end of the sleeves, and also at the end of the front and back.
And I picked up the idea, putting something different in, because especially I never like this simple
Rib pattern.
Yeah. So I used my favorite one. I don't know what it's called in English.
It's the old Shawl pattern.
Yeah, I think it has several names as well.
It has several names in German as well.
And I also put it on all the edges. And
we're both using MKal sock yarn with bamboo in it. And we're actually knitting the same pattern.
Yeah, and I didn't change anything except
and me too. I think except for the edges, it's actually the same thing.
Yeah,
which is
very
sort of rare.
Yeah.
So like
and
that,
I didn't have any time to wear it, I think, because after it was finished.
It got too cold already?
Yeah. No, this year was different because I was gone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was on a pilgrimage, so couldn't take it with me.
I wore mine several times.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the only thing that we have both finished. And then the next project is one that I have a finished object, and that's
some time already.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite shawls I ever made. It's a simple granny square, but it's a big one. And I used the Alpaka lace yarn by Hansafab, and I used all the colors that they produce. And some of them are already discontinued, like this very light pink. They don't produce anymore, but I got a bit of leftover yarn from my friend, and that's why it's only in the very beginning.
And I only used one color, and not a big surprise, I used black. And I started off with the same idea, making one big quadrat square. But then halfway through, I decided, well, actually, I don't want to put it double. If I use such a light yarn, I'd rather have make two squares and make it into a
Stole?
Oh, okay, or shawl or something.
Yeah, but rectangular instead of square.
Yeah.
And I love to have it doubled. So what I like to do is double it so that it's a triangle, and I'm a big fan of triangular shawls.
Yeah.
But I sometimes squish it together like a scarf. So there's
that's
many things that you can do. But you can do that with that as well, yeah.
And I will probably put something all around the...
Like a little border.
Yeah, something, but I haven't decided what yet. So
and the second square isn't quite done yet.
Yeah, so it still takes some time.
Yeah. But it was your project on the pilgrimage, so that was great.
For
it was
4 months,
thing.
It was only 75 grams with a hook.
Crochet hook, yeah.
Crochet hook. Yeah.
Okay, so the next project is one where you have a finished object and I don't.
Yes. So we usually produce a sister edition once a year for Christmas. And I think it was the first time this year that we had a special edition in summer. And I showed all my
sideways
knitted
skirts.
Yeah. So this is one that... I had started this year and finished, and there's one short row here in the middle, and to have a bit of a more space for the legs in the end. And I always do them sideways, and then put on the
ribbing.
Yeah,
waistband.
Waistband. Yeah, I didn't even know the German word now. So this is winter.
Can I have a look?
Yeah.
You were using the yarn held double, right? So it's fingering weight yarn held double. Is that right?
2 pink, the same one.
Yeah.
Pink and then grey one for the ribs.
Yeah, for the garter ridges. Yeah.
Ridges.
And when we did the video in summer, I decided to do a skirt like that as well, and I've never knit one. I have knit sideways skirts, but not exactly that way.
Yeah.
So I did one where there were no short rows, and I did
like
one.
haramaki.
Yeah, I mean the blue skirt is a skirt.
Yeah.
It's not a haramaki.
Oh, okay.
And I did a sideways ones that was on the bias. That was from Knitty.com years ago. But I wanted to do one that was sideways and had short rows because that's sort of her idea that she's done a lot, and she's knit several for me. So it was time that I did one for myself. And I picked 3 colors of opal yarn. And I think with the contrast, I was channeling my sister. So these are quite close, not very strong contrast. But I like them together, and I wanted a bit of a difference in the yarns.
And it does look beautiful, but it looks as if it was only one
yarn. Yeah. And I decided to go for one spot of short rows so that it's wider down here than up here. And yes, it looks short, and it is quite short, but then I am very short. But I will also add some ribbing on the top of the skirt to make it sit tighter. And I've been thinking of knitting a lace edging to make it longer.
Yeah.
Don't know yet. I will probably knit that top down. So while I'm knitting, I can decide how long I want it to be. And also with lace, once you block it, it gets longer anyway.
And I'm planning the same with the lace
edging.
On this one, this is my summer long skirts, knit sideways. And
it's a summer skirt because it's cotton.
Yeah. And I also have only one place where I do the short rows. And theoretically, it's one row of one ridge in black and 2 ridges in grey, and alternating with 3. But yeah, I'm not very good with counting, so it's a bit
It'll be a unique skirt, and nobody's going to sit down and count.
Yeah,
so.
And I'm thinking of starting doing the lace edging
from behind the skirt, right? It sort of looks as if you had an underskirt.
Yeah, I don't know if it will how it
like
will turn
really
out,
good
but
idea.
yeah, I really want to try it. And it also will get a waistband in black afterwards. And beside this summer edition, I also for years wanted to have a winter edition in grey as well. I have collected so many grey yarns over the years and ended up with this one. And the special thing about this skirt is it doesn't have any short rows. This is actually just a regular sideways knitted skirt, and it will have
A slip?
yeah, so I will be able to walk. Yeah, yeah, and I've got the stockinette is with these two, and the dark
ridge?
garter ridge is with these two, and it was supposed to be much darker, but I didn't realize that all the light colors will be so strong, and now it looks a bit like yours, like your blue skirt, if it was only just one.
Yeah. And the two balls that she was showing, she's holding the yarn doubled. So it's going to be a warm skirt, and yeah, that's right. And it's 4 different colorways by Opal. And Opal usually has, with most collections, there's one gray colorway in there. So you keep collecting them.
Yeah, you really have a lot of them.
Yes,
and I love them, yeah. And it's really a nice project. It can be just done on the way and not... And mindless knitting.
It's a mindless project, that's right.
I love that very much.
And we don't only knit skirts sideways, but you can knit pullovers sideways. And that's what I did this year with the yarn that I had in my advent calendar last year. So last year I got together with some friends and we collected 20-gram leftover sock yarn balls, and then we gifted them to each other. So I had 24 different balls of sock weight yarn, and I put them in this pullover, and I was not able to use up all the yarn because I'm just too small for that, and that pullover is fairly wide and fairly long from the way I usually knit pullovers, but still I didn't get all the colors in, and with some of the colors I only used 10 grams. But yeah, it's a nice sideways pullover.
Yeah, exactly. And you had this beautiful gray, what a surprise, color with cotton, also from Opal. And I just wanted to have a simple summer sweater. And this is one sleeve, and this is the other sleeve. So I did it differently from Kiko.
I knit mine from one sleeve over to the other sleeve.
And I started both times with the sleeve, and they will eventually be connected. Here's this, with this part also already has the front or back.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they will be connected. I'm looking forward to having it
Yep.
for this year's summer.
And I think you even started that one before I did mine, right?
Yeah.
I
Probably.
think
I'm
so.
not sure, yeah,
but the difference is that she just started doing it, whereas I had a pattern.
Yeah. I think I'm really lucky that usually I get by without much planning and not having a pattern to follow. And
I just prefer to have a pattern.
Yeah.
There's so many nice patterns out there. Why shouldn't I use them? Why should I
But it's so...
make up my own?
No, it's so too exhausting.
I like
It's
it.
much easier.
Yeah, but that's a difference. So with the next project, it's sort of the same again. It's a summer cardigan, and I knit a white version of that cardigan years and years and years ago.
Which I love very much.
Me too, which
Yeah.
is why I never gave it to her.
Which
I
is
keep
fine.
wearing it. But I kept thinking I want another cardigan like this in another color, because white is so delicate and I'm really careful with that cardigan, and I wanted one that I could wear all the time. So I made a black one. And it's the same pattern that I used for the white one, and it has the exact same lace pattern. This cardigan, you start in the back, you knit straight up until you get to the armhole, then you cast on stitches for the arms, you knit the whole thing, then you separate to left and front. With the pattern, you have a V-neck, so you increase stitches when you go down the front. And I actually have the same kind of buttons on the cardigan, so it's the same, this kind of button in black with these flowers embossed in it. I have the same one in white, so that's a tiny detail that I love.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then you said you wanted a summer cardigan sort of that way.
And I don't know why I didn't choose black. For some reason I chose, is it
Grey?
right way? Yeah, I chose grey, but did the same way, starting in the back and then increasing for the sleeves. And now we can turn it around, because I'm halfway through with at least with this sleeve. And then,
This sleeve is almost done, I think.
yeah, almost. Yeah, I want to have it a bit in the back too.
Okay.
And I would do it as usually, like with the same with this cardigan, just kind of kimono style, going straight in the front, and not knowing if I'll do anything about the edges yet, depending on how close it is or how far, if I need something.
Yeah. And instead of following my lace pattern, she just made lots and lots of holes, which is sort of her favorite lace pattern.
It's really simple, just decreasing 2 in one row, and then
so one row has a knit 2 together, and the next right side row has a slip knit together, and then the yarn overs are different places. But that makes a very simple lace pattern that goes straight up. It doesn't sort of veer to the
And I love
to
this
the side.
pattern very much.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Then years ago, I don't know how many years ago, I bought one of Jorge Locatelli's knitting books, pattern books, where she gets together with Vera Velimäki, and there's a glacier tunic in there. And I like that pattern, and I had for some time collected several colorways by Opal, all with these turquoise and blue colors.
And it fits so well with the name.
Yes, with the glacier. So, but instead of doing a glacier tunic, I decided I wanted a dress because I had 5 different colors. So I had 500 grams of sock weight yarn, and I knew that's too much for a pullover. So I decided to knit a dress. And I just knit the colors, the different colorways one after the other with a little bit of mixing in between. And then for the tunic, what Jorge does is she does short rows at the side, so you get a straight edge at the bottom. But I wanted to keep that pointy bit in the front and in the back. And because it's a dress, it's okay that this bit is a lot higher up. This is still, I think, middle of my thigh. And this goes sort of down to my knees. And I love that dress.
And when you knit that, I did a summer variety version with cotton and in lilac tones. Yeah. And I didn't want to have these...
the pointy bits?
Yeah.
So you did the short rows.
How it was supposed to be in the pattern anyway.
You followed the pattern more than me.
Yeah. I think
That's
probably the only
unusual.
time, yeah. And then years later when Kiko had this beautiful color... this beautiful series, this Black Dragon series, which is special because it has this black
yarn spun into it, and the black gets thinner and thicker, so it's quite an interesting effect that you get.
It's something unusual, and I love this color with blues and lilac. And I always wanted to do this glacier pattern again because it's really nice to knit. It's really fun. So I started, and this time it was supposed to, it will be a tunic. And
with the summer version, I think you didn't do the back
No.
triangle. I think you had a V-neck on both sides.
Both sides, yeah.
And this time, because it's a more wintry garment, you did the whole back.
And I also already have this rib something.
Round the neck?
Yeah.
I always have difficulty with those words.
Because I started with too many stitches, I think. It was too big, and so I had to put something inside. Otherwise, I often prefer not having anything special in there. And so I got this far, and now the next step will be putting in the sleeves. But this will take some time still. But I enjoy knitting it, yeah. And because
I love those colors.
I like these colors. Yeah, either something kind of lilac or grey. What surprise! And because I love this series so much, I started basically at the same time. I think I started knitting this thing, and this is Mamaki. This will be a Mamaki dress one day.
So this is another pattern by Nicolor, and it's another of those no gauge swatch patterns where you start.
This is the front.
This is the front, but you start in the back, and that's sort of your gauge swatch, and then again you measure yourself and do some calculations, and then you know when to cast on stitches for the front. And then you can knit down and
I think 2 years ago or last year, there were so many here in our group knitting this dress, and I think most of them are already done, and I'm still quite in the beginning.
Most of them, not all of them.
Ah, okay, yeah. And you're supposed to increase every 4 rows, But after the first part, I altered it a little so it will be less wide in an A shape. But I will still have this A shape.
Yeah, and when I knit my Mamaki dress, I did not use opal yarn for a change, but I had a cone of 500 grams of yarn that I bought at the wool fabric factory, that's the word. Wool factory in Hamburg. And that's a yarn that I sort of put together myself. They have lots of cones with very thin yarns, and I picked 6 of them and had them wound together on one cone for me. And that's where I made my mistake. I knew it was 500 grams, and with 500 grams of opal yarn, I can easily knit a dress, but not with a thick yarn like this. So I started doing the Mamaki dress, but then realized that I didn't have enough yarn for a dress. So when I finished the yoke, I first did the neck ribbing and the sleeves. I made them rather short already because I knew I was short on yarn, but then it only ended up being a tunic. And I did a lot less increases than I was supposed to. So I have a slight A-line, but it's a very slight A-line. And it's only a tunic because there wasn't any more yarn. But I still love it a lot. I still like the way it looks. I'm so happy that I used up the yarn after it sitting around at my place for years and years and years. So very happy with that. And when you were working on your Mamaki again, I decided I wanted another one, and I wanted one that was actually a dress and long enough. So I dove into my stash and looked at the sock yarn that I have. And because I already have the Gletscher dress, which is in blues and turquoise, Glacier dress, I got all the opal yarns out that had pink in them. And then I had lots of opal yarn on the table with pink in them, and then suddenly all the pink grey ones sort of drifted into my sister's direction.
I've had like the most beautiful ones.
And and they just looked like they wanted to be her dress, and then the other pink ones looked like they wanted to be my dress. And I am going to knit another Mamaki, this time out of sock yarn, and then maybe someday you'll make another one out of sock yarn.
As soon as this one is done, I hope I will have at least started by next year's
video.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's that. Then the next project is the one that I left at home. So if you watch my normal videos, you will have seen that I'm knitting a dress out of a skirt, thank you, out of the Evenstar pattern, which is a round shawl pattern. And I omitted the beginning of the shawl and started with so many stitches that I knew would fit me for a skirt. I knit the main part of the skirt, and I'm now knitting the knitted on edge with lots of beads in them. I haven't knit on it for a while, so the last couple of videos I didn't show it, but if you go back a few months, then you will probably see the skirt. And when I bought the yarn for it, which is by Wollmeise, and it's their lace weight yarn, I bought 2 skeins of yarn, and that was the other one. And so I gave that to her, and we decided fairly quickly that we wanted to make skirts, which is quite some time ago that we decided that.
Several years, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I started my skirt last Christmas.
Yeah, and I started too, and then I had to redo it because I had cast on too many stitches. And when you said you want to do the Evenstar shawl, I quickly had the idea I wanted to do the vortex pattern. If you know Kiko's videos, or us also in one of our sister videos, we both have a round shawl, a very beautiful one with this pattern, vortex.
But the sister videos, this is the 6th time that we're sitting down to do a sister video. But on the English channel, there are only a few because she didn't always have the strength to do another one.
During the last 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, and the first one I think we only did in German because we were trying things out. I'm not quite sure. But if you wanted to see all the sister videos, you'd have to go to the German channel, which is linked underneath the video.
Yeah, and in the skirt I did the variation that I don't have any holes yet. As they're supposed to be in the pattern.
Yeah. So you are doing the yarn overs to get the pattern, but then she knits them through the back loop so they don't appear as holes the way they will later.
Yeah,
right?
I think mid-thigh or some time I will start.
We're almost there.
Yeah, not yet, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Have to try it on.
Yeah.
Soon.
Exactly.
Okay,
but it's really fun. I really enjoy doing this. knitting this.
Talking about lace yarn and talking about lace patterns,
And talking about this color.
there's another project that we've been working on for quite some time. And this is a lace yarn by Wolldackel when they were still dyeing yarn, and it was their luxury lace. It's a beautiful yarn. And these are the two colors that we're using, and we're actually knitting the same pattern.
Without any changes on my side.
Yeah, there are options in the pattern, and we chose different options.
Yeah.
So it's not completely the same. And the pattern is by Susanna IC, and the pattern is called Abloom, and it was once, a long time ago, a mystery knit along. And it's rare that you do mysteries. So that was I was quite happy that you joined in for that.
But you assured me that
Her patterns are always beautiful.
yeah, and it's right. I'm really happy with
and it's
it.
more like your pattern than mine, really, because it's fairly. I'm showing the wrong side. No,
It's
I'm
not too.
It's not very complicated, and it's not all over the place, and it's fairly the same in a way.
Yeah.
And the options are the beads options. So you can do a few beads, or middle, or many.
Or no beads at all.
Yes, I'm doing the many beads.
I'm
And
doing the no beads.
You sure? You were thinking of maybe doing them at the edge?
Perhaps. Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
Okay, we'll see. So it starts off very small at one end of the shawl, and then the first clue was like knit quite a bit of your shawl, and we even had like 2 weeks time.
And I think I'm still at the first.
Clue.
Yeah.
And so like this, they sort of look the same.
Yeah.
And then I managed to get to clue 2 at some point. But as you can see, there's not a big difference between clue 1 and clue 2. And I think for me, the main difference is actually that there are more beads now. And I'm not quite sure whether I have started the third clue or not. So that shows that I have knit on this for a long time. And also that there's not a lot of change happening yet. I know there's more change towards the end, but
Okay.
I have looked at it by now. I chose beads that are very close in color to the yarn, so they're not very obvious, but they are there. And I love, even if you don't see them very much, I still love the sparkle they give, and I love the little bit of weight that they give to the shawl. So that's the Abloom shawl.
Actually, one reason why I don't put in these many beads is because I don't like them when they're in the neck. And I feel they're too cold.
Yeah, they're cold for a minute or two, and then they get warm, so I don't mind. So I haven't knit on this in a very long time, but I'm looking forward to continuing on that very soon.
Yeah, latest in spring.
Then I think the next project was my Christmas cast on last year. So not my Christmas, I think it was my New Year's cast on. I don't know. For Christmas, my knitting group gave me a beautiful hand-dyed yarn with glitter in it, and a book with colorwork patterns, and I picked a dark blue opal yarn to go with it, and I decided to knit a loop scarf, but I knitted like a scarf, and then I will sew the beginning and the end together, and I'm choosing lots of different patterns from my pattern book, and this is the side where you have lots of the glitter and lots of the color, and this is the side where you see the motifs more clearly. And I have already knit quite a bit. I'm more than halfway through, but I still have a bit to go as well. And then in the end, I'm going to sew this together, and then I can either have it hanging down for quite a bit and you can see the motifs, or I can even turn it around and pull it over my head a second time, and then I have a really warm cowl. And I love this project a lot.
Yeah, and I love double face knitting, even though it's a bit complicated.
Double knitting. In English, they say double knitting. Double face is the German expression, which is really weird.
That's interesting.
I probably said double face, but
I
in
don't
English
know.
it's double knitting.
Yeah, okay, I love that. And when she started, I looked in my stash and found these two beautiful yarns. This one is probably Malabrigo, I don't know. And this one, I forgot, and I think it has some silk in it and something very soft, and very different color than everything else. And I chose one rather simple pattern. It's like spiraled. It's called Storm Wind, and if I hold like this, you can see on both sides at the same time. And yeah, I'm still quite at the beginning, but and it will take some time, but I enjoy the process. And important for me, when I first started, I thought, oh, this is the second I'm doing in double knitting. And I thought, oh, this pattern is so much easier than the first one, so I won't need the stitch markers in between the pattern. But I found out, yeah, I'm completely lost without, and so I put them in, and it's so much easier. So if I do make a mistake, I can find out at the end of one pattern repeat, and don't have to go back for all of them. Yeah, this was just to take some time for me.
Yeah, and that brings us to the last project. And for that, we picked colors from the last series of Opal Extra Large is what it's called. It's like the 8-ply, so it's like double the thickness of the normal fingering weight yarn. And this year, those were 2 of the 6 colors, and they just
her favorite color, and it's not lilac, but it's gray, which I like very much too.
And if you watch my regular videos, you will have seen the gray already, because I use that color to crochet hexagon house shoes for her.
Yeah, and at first I thought I might do them myself, but when I started, it was too loose, and so I decided, I continue with my cardigan, and I had made a summer version of these hexagon cardigans with gray, but I wanted to have a winter version because I really love yours and from the others, and that's as far as I got. Almost done. Well, and I'm enjoying the process. During the last 3 years when I was ill, I didn't have much strength, and it was easier to crochet. That's why I'm much more into crocheting now than I used to be.
Yeah.
But you didn't, you're not crocheting?
Sorry. Yeah, so I crocheted a cardigan some time ago, and I crocheted my house shoes in the same color as my crochet cardigan. But for this color, I decided I'm going to knit a hexagon cardigan. So I did a tutorial video on how to do that as well, but then I only knit a baby cardigan. So I decided now I want to have a cardigan for myself, and I love this color. And if I fold it a bit like this, you can sort of see the beginning of the cardigan.
An idea.
Yeah, but I've only started, but I'm really looking forward to having this as a knit cardigan.
And mine will be a partner to this one because it's the same series of yarn, but also
to the crochet one.
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
2 ways of going partner look.
Yeah, and I still might do one knitted version.
One, yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
One day.
We'll see.
Yeah. You might see.
Yeah. So that's everything that we sort of knit in partner look or in tandem during the last year.
This year.
And we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.